Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? So, we're going to talk about a touchy subject tonight, a serious subject. And I'm going to set the stage and tell you all a story. Can I get a 10 by 10? Can you all hear me pretty good? I don't have my headset on tonight, so hopefully you can hear me fine. Can you all hear me? So, this is a pretty serious topic. Of course, the thumbnail looks funny, right? But this is what I want to talk about tonight. So, back in the 90s, I lived in Colorado. And I used to work on, I had an old 1972 Camaro. I used to work on that Camaro, and a young kid, his name was Nick. He used to come by, and he was a mixed kid. He was half black, half white. He was a nice kid. And I became friends with him. And Nick was a member of a gang. He was a member of the Crips. And so one day he was talking to me, and we had a heart-to-heart talk about the gang affiliation and all that. And a couple weeks went by, and I'm out there working on my van. So here he comes again. He's coming home from school, and he lived in the same complex that I did. I lived in a townhouse at that time. And so we had another heart-to-heart talk, and he said, KJ, take a look. And I was like, what? And he pulled up his shirt, and he showed me he had a red belt on, which is a huge step for somebody that is gang affiliated, right? And I was like, so you jumped out of the gang? He's like, yeah. I was like, good for you. And he goes, I took what you said to heart. And I was like, all right. A couple weeks went by. I didn't hear from Nick or see him. And I usually seen him when he was walking home from school. He was about 16, 17 years old at the time. I was in my early 30s. And then Sunday morning, the newspaper got delivered, and Nick was on the front page. Nick had committed murder. Nick, an attorney's daughter, and another young man stole the attorney's gun, called a taxi cab driver, and shot him and killed him. Nick got 20 or 25 years in prison at 17 years old. He was convicted as an adult. The reason I'm bringing this up tonight is that myself and Dragonflies have been having conversations, and I've been thinking about the United States prison system and how it works for people and how it works against people. And so I want to open the panel up to this topic tonight. Does a person that serves 20 years or 25 years in prison in the United States deserve to come out and have a second chance at life? Do they have, or should they have, the opportunity, such as Nick, to spend 20 years of his life for what he did and come out and have an X across his back and have a stigma against him his whole life? Or did he pay his debt to society? In the United States, we have the most people in prison than anywhere in the world. That's something to think about. We have most people in prison for drug offenses of anywhere in the world. And we have the most incarcerated. So it's a touchy subject, but I hope that it opens up the chat to really think about something. Do we give these folks another chance? Because most people, when they come out of the penitentiary, they've learned a lot of tricks of the trade, if you know what I mean. And they've also had an X put across their back when they go to fill out a job application or anything, right? They have to put down that they were a felon, that they are a felon. And on top of that, does a kid like Nick deserve another chance? See, we can't have wishy-washy, Sherry. It's either we give people another chance to live their life because they did their time, and they should be able to come out and see. When we say depends on the crime, this is a big thing. If it depends on the crime, right? Do they ever repay their debt to society? Or should we just ship them all off to an island? Take 20.
We're not talking about death row.
We're not talking about death row. Death row, their chances of getting out are slim to none. We're talking about people that if they've been in prison for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, should they have the opportunity to come out and be forgiven? And see, if they should, right? This is my point tonight. If they do have that second chance, then why, when they come out, just as Raven said, they're only allowed to work certain jobs because no one will hire them? What happens to people in the United States is once they have served their time and they come out and they go to a halfway house and they're completely off of paper, meaning they are no longer in trouble, right? No longer in trouble in any way, shape, or form. They have the X on their back. And I think it's a topic that we need to look at because we have people coming out in society and they don't have another chance. They don't get another chance. And so what happens is they go back to crime and things they learned about in the prison system. Exactly, Dreaded Seeker. And as long as they can keep that door revolving for them to come back, they never have a chance to do or be anything different. Such good points coming up tonight in the chat. Nice to see you, Raven. They're not allowed to own a firearm. But are they even allowed to go after their dreams after paying their debt to society? Then we can go on the other hand, Sherry, that you talked about, depends on the crime. Okay, it depends on the crime. Look at one of the most notorious criminals in the history of the United States, Charlie Manson. How much a year did we pay as taxpayers for him to sit on death row year in and year out and make money off of his book? And he was a sick, twisted individual that never got to see the light of day again, right? But my whole point is with us incarcerating more and more people every single year, right? Every single year. When do we do something different? When do we take kids like Nick that was 17 and give him a chance at another life, to give him a chance to be a productive citizen? At this time, I'd like to open up the chat. Anybody that wants to come up and talk about this subject, you're welcome to. I think that as we look at the United States and we look at what's happened in the United States, I think that we as Americans need to really look at where this is going. I look at things and I think about things and I'm like, do these people deserve another chance? And maybe it's because it's Christmas and I was thinking about Nick and I was thinking about, this young kid, 17 years old, got charged as an adult. Did he do a horrific thing? He did. Does he deserve a second chance when he comes out? In my heart, I would say yes. Does anybody deserve a second chance? I say yes. I think that the prison system is a way to keep people rolling around and going in and out like it's a revolving door. Yeah, and I felt that way, Sherry, but they did, and that little girl, Nick, and the other boy were involved in murder. How's it going, George?
Not bad. My cousin.
What do you think?
Not Gordon, but my cousin David. He was accused of molesting a little girl, and so instead of fighting it right there, he pled guilty because he didn't want the little girl. His girlfriend's daughter is who was framing him.
What you say?
He went to prison for a while. My cousin David did. This is when he was still alive, and he come out
About
He
what?
changed his ways a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
Of
but
course,
he had an offer. But
I
it's
knew he
still,
wasn't guilty.
it was still on his back his whole life. I'm sure it still is. He goes to get a job. It's still over his head.
He won't be able to get a job because he's not around anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He died. God, it was quite a while back ago. Quite a while back when my aunt was still alive. But as far as I'm concerned, they paid their debt to society right there. They should be forgiven because it says in the Bible, "Judge not for less judged." That's what it says right there.
Yeah.
As Christ would say, "Judge not, for I have not judged you."
There you go. That's a good point. I think that, well, I know another situation, and here's another one. And I knew this young kid as well. I had a store, a pallet store, a liquidation store in Nebraska when I had that little farm. And this kid was 18. His girlfriend was 16. The parents allowed her and him to sleep in the same bed in their home. And one day the kids decided they were going to share pictures of each other to each other. The dad seen it. The dad called the sheriff and they pressed charges against him. Now, and he got convicted of having sex with a minor. Another situation where our judicial system let us down because the parents knew, everybody in the community knew they were together. They went to prom together. They went to dances together. They loved each other. And daddy got mad because his little girl was sharing pictures she shouldn't have shared on the phone. But now he has the stigma of being basically a child molester. So, there's all these subjects and they are touchy and there's a lot of circumstances that go into it. But like him, should with the whole community, a community of 3,000-4,000 people, teachers, principals, sports, coaches, his parents knowing, their parents knowing, should he have got convicted of a crime like this? I could see it if she was 11, 12, and he was 18. But this girl was 16, he was 18. And the parents knew about it. The community knew about it. He was an up-and-coming athlete. He got good grades. There was a lot of factors in it, but dad got mad when he seen, even though dad and mom allowed them to spend the night together in the same house and people knew it.
Yeah.
No, 16 and 18. She was about to turn 17 when it all happened. Dragonflies, and I agree there, Raven, but is this kid considered a child molester? Is he considered that? When it's a teenage boy and girl, if she was 18 and he was 20, there would have been no questions. But when the parents allowed it, it wasn't just an overnight relationship. They had been together for a while. It's one of those things that I think the main reason I brought this up is because I've been talking about the First Amendment, and I have a special coming up about the First Amendment. And so many people in the prepping community and the homesteading community like to do this, but they don't like to take action and do anything. And someone in the chat this morning said, well, no one in the United States is doing anything. See, you have to get out of your comfort zone sometimes and go not to just prepping and homesteading communities, not to just prepping news, not to just homesteading news, but look around at the world and what's going on. And there's a lot of people that are taking stands in a lot of different ways. And look who it is. T Long got something to add to the conversation. What's up, T Long? What's up, lady? Can you hear me? Hello.
Oh.
She's there. Hey, what's up, T Long? Uh-oh, she's frozen.
She might be having internet
Hello.
problems.
Oh, now we can kind of hear her, kind of can't.
Can't see her.
I can see her.
Oh, you're
I can see her too, but like I said, she might be having some internet problems.
Well, and see, here's Dreaded Seeker with a good point, right? Dreaded Seeker was 17 and her husband was 20 when they got married. And see, that's a good point, Dreaded Seeker. Now we can see her. She got the light on. What's going on with you, lady? Shoot.
Yeah, it's her internet.
Drop down, T Long, and come back. Come back. I'll kick you out of the studio and then come back. Maybe she can get her internet to work. Internet's been winky everywhere. I think that there's a lot of different scenarios and stuff, but when we look at how many people are getting incarcerated in the United States, and that it's this big money making machine, and that so many people don't have another opportunity, I think that this is a point where all of us need to get involved. Like many, many years ago, I remember my mom and George, what she did is there was a program at church and she got involved in it, and it was writing inmates. And the inmate, his name was Kermit. I'll never forget him. And he was on death row. And he was on death row for murder. And she wrote him for many years until they got rid of him. They executed him. But I look at people and I'm like, wow, with this big money making machine called prison, it really is something that we all need to think about, because do we, as like, maybe you have a small business and somebody walks in and they say they're a felon, do you give them another opportunity, or do we just keep slamming doors on their faces to the point that they go back to, well, I learned this in prison, so let me go back to those ways, and then that way I at least am bringing money in, and if I get thrown in prison again, then that's where I'm at. I think that many people don't think about these situations, and as we see the population grow in the prisons, maybe if our prison system had something that really was rehabilitating, maybe it would change that where it's not for. What's the age of consent? It depends on what state you're in. But the situation we were talking about, Ben's Over Acres, the girl was 17 and the boy was 18, or she was 16 and 18. She was getting ready to have her 17th birthday, I think. And the parents knew about it. But yeah, I mean, well, if you go back to the old days, there wasn't any kind of law like that. I'm not saying. Oh, yeah, most definitely. My thing is that as a community, do we start looking in different directions for solutions instead of just bullshit? Do we start looking at ways to maybe help these people to become more productive citizens, to not end up in prison again? And if you own a small business, or if you come across somebody and they just got out of the pen, do we give them the friendship and the opportunity to become a productive citizen? And I say 100% yes. We can't be wishy-washy and say, well, if it was this crime, yes, and if it was that crime, no. There has to be things that change in this country so that people don't want to repeat offend. We have the biggest drug epidemic in the United States. We have a huge, huge drug epidemic. But why? We don't have rehabilitation. We don't give a shit. We let them stay on the street and die. And that's what we do with them. They're my little brother. They call him a throwaway. The same thing they're doing with veterans. The same thing that anybody has a mental condition. Let them rot on the street. Who gives a shit? If you see them, walk the other way. Get on the other side of the sidewalk. Oh my God,
Yeah.
It's like, what about having a caring freaking feeling in your heart and in your bones and in your soul to reach out to one of those people and sit down and put your arm around a stinky ass that hasn't taken a shower in a month and saying, brother or sister, there's something better. And can I do anything? Can we just have a heart-to-heart freaking talk? Do you need a sandwich? I'm not saying hand them a $5 bill or a $10 bill. I'm saying give a shit as an American, give a shit as a person to say, everybody deserves another chance. Is there something I can do to help you, man? And my friends, George, They travel all across the country. We met them when we were RVing, right? They carry plastic bags. They put socks in there, toothpaste, deodorant, and $5 or $10 granola bars, a jug of water, and it's just a little Ziploc gallon bag. And they don't give a rat's ass if you're black, if you're white, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're a man, a woman, if you're freaking crazy out of your mind. They'll walk up to you and they do God's work by handing out those bags.
Yeah. And when I was in school right there, let's see, from the 4th to the 6th grade right there, the kids in my school up there in Anaconda, they kept saying that I didn't belong there in that school. I belonged down there in a place they called Warm Springs, the mental hospital, because I was different than them. So what if I was slow? But hey, I like to see them do what I did now. I was a caregiver for my mother when she was alive. I gave her dialysis. And then before that, I was a forest firefighter. I like to see them go through the damn stuff that I went through now. I've changed my life quite a bit.
Yeah. So what do you think? She's a wildflower? What do you think? Are you there? Why are we having problems with the person? She's frozen. At least she looks good. What?
Maybe she just wants to stay there just in one place. You never know.
She's frozen. There she is. Go ahead. You were frozen for a minute.
Yeah, I was trying to turn down on the other channel. I was trying to mute it.
You did good. We don't have any feedback.
All right, good.
So what do you think? She's a wildflower. Do people deserve a second chance?
You bet. You bet they do.
Yeah.
They sure do.
And I agree with you.
I mean, a lot of people have a difference in their age, right there, 18, 16, they're together. And then somebody gets pissed off and pissed off and turns them in. This happened, okay? This happened with my son. My son, he didn't go to prison or anything. He was actually considered the victim because he was with a girl that was over the age of 18 when he was like 15 and a half. And, you got a teenage boy running around thinking he's the bomb, because he's dating this older girl. My son was always like, he was much more mature in his looks and in his actions than his age was. He was a couple of years ahead of himself or so. But he was seeing this girl that was just over 18, and he was 15 and a half. Now, in the state of Missouri, the age for consent for a male is 16, or at least it was when my son was younger. Okay, my son's 22 or 30, something like that, 24, 25 now. Sorry, I've got kids.
Right.
But yeah, it happened with him, and she actually got into some serious trouble for it because it wasn't the first time she had dated a younger kid. And the person that turned her in was her own mother, because she did this, I guess, with a younger guy, and she had a baby. So she had a little baby that was like 2 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. She didn't look 18. I never asked.
Well, and that's a really touchy subject. Hey, Beth D.
It is.
What's going on, lady? That's a difference. That's a whole. When we
it is, but subject,
that subject's really.
Yeah,
touchy.
It was just. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is people deserve a second chance. Even she did. And she wasn't a bad person. It was just she was, I think her mom was afraid she was going to mess up again. But everybody deserves a second chance. A lot of people have a teetotal change.
Yeah, let me give you another real life situation that broke my heart, man. I was at a party in Colorado and I met this kid. It was his sister's party. He was young and they told him to go outside. And so I was sitting out there smoking a cigarette and he started bullshitting with me and me and him hit it off. You know who he looked like? He looked like who was the guy that was on Chips, the Latino guy?
Oh, Eric Estrada.
That's who he looked like. He looked like a little mini Erica Estrada, right? He was the cutest kid. He was really nice. And me and him were sitting there cutting the shit. And the next week, his sister calls me and she's just crying. Her name was Cheyenne and she's just bawling. And I'm like, what is wrong? She goes, are you sitting down? You're going to take this bad. And I'm like, what? And a college student was drunk and he was walking home from playing basketball. The college student hit him, threw him up over the roof. It killed him. He was
Oh my God.
He was 15. She kept on driving, drove over him, left him there, and drove home. And she went to prison. And even though at the time, I was so angry and I was so sad that a college student, that's somebody's daughter. She screwed up. She screwed up royally, but she went to prison over it. But does she deserve a second chance? And see, I have a very forgiving heart. And of course she does. Because see, if we don't forgive people and let them pay their debt and come out and give them another chance, that's where we turn our society straight up into all criminals. I also believe that a lot of the kids that are out there committing these crimes they're getting younger and younger and younger. Why? A lot of it has to do with the men in their lives that they don't have a dad, that they don't have a big brother, that they don't have guidance, that nobody gives a rat's ass about them. Nobody's ever spanked them. Nobody's ever talked to them, and nobody's ever cheered for them. And when you get down to that point and we see what it's doing to our society, that's when we all have to work to help these kids. We all have to reach out to kids. And be it if it's at Sunday school, if it's Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Little League teams, becoming a big brother or a big sister, but getting active in our local communities. Because without guidance, without somebody giving a shit, where are they going to be? They're going to probably be the next one in the pin.
Yeah, they used to have a big brothers, big sisters, but they don't have that no more. I don't even see Girl Scouts being offered in schools or anything anymore.
Right. I think there's still, there's other avenues to get involved with kids in the right direction. The YMCA, community centers. The YMCA is big, and the YMCA has some good programs. After school sports where they have intramural basketball, football, track, whatever the hell it is, but it's going to take all of us to make a difference. We can't sit back and keep blaming it on the parents and this and that and that. Our society is falling apart.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
We got our oldest grandchild, who is 22 now, involved in wrestling when she was in middle school. Mm-hmm. Before then, she was getting in fights, being real obstinate and not responsible. And excuse me, that wrestling.
You're right, Raven.
If you guys aren't talking, put your mics on mute so that we don't hear like background. I think it's Beth D's baby's going crazy. Go ahead, Beth D. You were talking. Go ahead.
So we got her into wrestling, and that taught her self-control, self-respect, self-discipline. And she was the only female wrestler going against the boys. She made the state finals and everything. I'm so proud of her. That helped her out. So when my kids start going down that path, boom, they're going to be in a sport.
Yeah. Well, and I think keeping kids active in something, not every kid is a jock. And I have a real problem with that. Like my brother, he was not a jock. He was one of those kids, you'd go in his room and he'd be like this in a book and he'd be reading. And he was so quiet and shy. But then my mother and my stepdad G moved to Fort Worth. And his first week in school, a bunch of kids started picking on him. And they beat him up. And he came home and he said, I got to do something to learn to defend myself. And my stepdad sat him down and said, if you're going to start something, finish it and make sure you do it the right way. He started Taekwondo. Now my younger brother is a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. He's a sensei. And now he opened another school. Due to COVID in 2019, he was roughly in 2019, I would say about 70 to 75 pounds overweight. My mother was actually worried that he was going to have a heart attack. That's how big he was. He decided that he was going to turn COVID around and make it a positive influence on his life. He started running. He now runs 3 to 5 miles daily, 7 days a week. He opened a new Taekwondo school. And he also, after 15 years, went and participated in another Taekwondo tournament and took first place. And that's determination, but it's also taking something negative and turning it into a positive. And
Right.
like Taekwondo, he never ever used it to harm anyone. He used it to defend himself. And
That's good.
yeah, and I mean, now I look at him and I'm like, holy shit, he's skinny. I mean, he lost a lot of weight,
Yeah.
but he works with kids by opening that Taekwondo school and
Right.
teaching kids self-esteem.
I honestly think that right now it takes both parents to work. I'm not knocking any family, trying to make ends meet for their kids. I'm not when I say this, please understand that. But kids just kind of need somebody to focus on them. I mean, even just, okay, for instance, my son and daughter-in-law have 5 kids, okay? They're 26. So they're both 26, but she had 2 sets of twins back to back. She had my granddaughter who's 7, but then she had 2 twin girls without help, mind you. She had 2 twin girls and then turned around and 2.5 years later had 2 twin boys. So she's got a lot of her attention is, she stays home with them, but there's so many of them close together, and I know like for my 7-year-old granddaughter, it's not that mama doesn't give her enough attention, but my son works over the road and there's only one of Chelsea and 5 of them,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, my 7-year-old granddaughter, like she just likes to, I just take her every so often, I just take her by herself and let her spend the night, and just have some one-on-one time. But kids need that attention. Because I think, like with my granddaughter, for instance, if you leave her be, she'll get herself into trouble because she wants to matter. She wants to, and it's not that they don't make her feel like she matters. There's just so many kids to give attention to, and I know for her, she just wants some one-on-one attention. And I think kids need that because so many families are trying to make ends meet.
That's hard to do when you got many kids.
It is. Yeah, it is. And
How many
it would do her
kids?
no good.
How many kids do you have, Betsy?
3,
You have 3?
all
And-
grandkids.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're raising all your grandkids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10, 6, and 2,
Wow.
Wow.
You got your hands full.
all day long,
10, 6, and
all
2.
day long. And then I got a 61-year-old big old kid. So yeah. But anyway,
So I think the point is really important, though, as we started talking about prison and jail and the judicial system, what did it really break down to, folks? It broke down to the family unit. the family unit.
They did.
Yeah, it does.
Did their time. They did.
Yeah, it does.
Did their time. I mean,
And it's under attack.
It is. It is. And well, and the thing is that everybody has to have balance in their life. You know, we all have to pull ourselves back and spend time with the grandbabies or the great nieces or nephews or the kids or kids you don't even know.
it
You know,
takes a
that's why,
village.
yeah. Well, and like that's one reason, like I really enjoyed Itchituckney because we had so many little kid campers.
Mhm.
And you know they called me Ranger KJ, and so Dragonflies gave me a sweatshirt, and they would come rushing up, Ranger, 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 and we'd do karaoke. And if it was a pretty big weekend with Boy Scouts or kids, I always tried to find something to do with them. Like we had a luau and we had a hula hoop contest, and these kids had never done a hula hoop. And
Right.
them out there shaking their butts trying to keep the hula hoop up to win the prize was great. I brought in Bumblebee, the big robot, and we did karaoke, we did funny songs like the night of the luau, we did the limbo, and all those things. So many parents walked up to me afterwards and said, "That was great. That was what these kids needed." And then they would play what they play at night, flashlight tag, and you would see
Yeah.
freaking flashlights waving all over the campground and them running like little ants everywhere. And people are like,
Mhm.
"You're gonna tell them to go to their campsite?" No, I'm gonna let them be kids and have fun. And that's important, is that so many families have gotten so wrapped up in all the bullshit that we forget that the kids imagine in 2019 as a little kid, and all of a sudden you see people with freaking face diapers on and
Mhm.
everybody standing 6 feet apart and all the other bullshit. They're probably like, "What the hell is everybody doing?"
Right, right.
And that's scary for kids.
I tell you what, I saw a picture in the news when everything was still, but it was of these kids in a hallway in the school, and they're all, man, wearing the face diaper and like this, so they wouldn't touch the walls. So they had their arms crossed, walking down a hallway, and I'm looking at that picture, going, "What a shame!
Yeah.
What a scary environment that must be for them."
Well, see, I
I
took
just-
care.
It broke
Yeah, I
my
took
heart.
care of when I was in corporate America. I took care of elementary schools, right? So I'd
Uh-huh.
walk in, and all the kids look petrified, and it was like we are indoctrinating them to not be able to be free will thinkers, to not be able to be
Exactly.
dreamers, to not be able to be happy. I mean, I was like, shit, I wasn't like this in elementary school. I was running the hallways,
I
being
know.
laughing,
Getting
having
in
fun,
trouble.
throwing paper airplanes. Y'all can imagine what I was like.
Spitballs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We used to take apart our pins. Oh, I can still do it. You want to see, Bethy? I'll do one for you. Hold on. Let me make some
I watched
spitballs.
the
We'll
cooking
start
show.
spinning them at the screen.
Your cooking show was great.
Oh, you
It
liked
was.
it?
I liked it too. Yeah.
Okay, but hold on.
I spent like an hour and a half today watching Dragonflies
Look.
old.
Hold on.
Get it going on.
I'm gonna get spitballs going, and I'm gonna spit them at the
Alright.
screen and see whose nose I pick on. Like it's just gonna land on y'all.
Shoot.
She's reverted back to 10 years old.
Don't tell Dragonflies, but spit.
Ah, Dragonfly's sitting right here shaking her head. It's the wrong pin though. Oh, I forgot what paper tasted like. Why did we used to chew on paper? Hold on, let's try it. Hold
We
on.
had nothing better to do.
I had guys that ate glue in my class. And
Our
I
It
ain't no
don't even
shit.
taste the same. It
Our
don't taste the
ceiling-
same.
Our
Well,
ceiling,
probably don't.
our ceiling in English was covered with spitballs. Nobody liked English but me. And it's like, wow. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm glad we brought up this topic tonight. I guess I was thinking about Nick.
That's like Kinley School. You walk in the office and there's a cop.
Oh yeah.
You can't even walk walk in the school without showing your face in a monitor.
Come over here, Dragonflies, and sit by me and tell this, because that's true and that's a good point, and they need to hear it from your voice.
I'm here, Dragonfly.
Hold on, Dragonflies has something to say. She's gonna come over and sit by me. Oh, maybe she's gonna sit on my lap. Oh, lucky me. Oh, come here. Go ahead, Dragonflies.
When I went to my granddaughter's school down in Alabama, I was shocked. I went with my daughter to go pick my granddaughter up. She had to show her face. She had to ring a buzzer on the outside of the building, show her face, show her ID before they would even let her in the building. Then you're not allowed to go anywhere except for straight in the office. And then there's a police officer sitting in the office. He had his own desk.
Yes.
You're not allowed to go to the classroom to get your kid.
No.
They brought her up to the office.
Like she was a prisoner. She was a prisoner.
That's how it is here.
Here too.
Yeah.
And we have a little bitty school. We really do. I mean, we're in in fact, it's called the Village of Bevier on the welcome sign. So there's like, I don't know, maybe 700 people in this town max.
Yeah.
And it's the same way here with that little school. It's the very same way.
Yeah, and in the hallways, they're not allowed to touch the wall. They're not allowed to be close to each other. They have to stand in a straight line, their hands down by their sides.
Yep. It's sad.
If you really think about it, go ahead.
And in Alabama, they also have to wear uniforms. They have to wear either navy blue or khaki pants and either a white or navy blue shirt, a what do you call it, a polo shirt.
Yeah.
They had to wear a black or a blue belt. They had to wear, what was it? I think their shoes didn't really matter as long as they were tennis shoes.
But see, I don't even agree with school uniforms. That's just me.
This is in Alabama, Hicktown.
But I don't even agree with school uniforms. I think that children, be it if you're rich and you get the new pair of Nikes, or if you're poor and you wear the thrift store shoes.
I couldn't afford that when we left Illinois.
But see, I think that it's good that kids are able to express themselves with,
in some manner,
sweatshirt or a hoodie or a jacket, whatever. People can look at it as a problem. It wasn't a problem when I was growing up.
No, but they consider that a problem.
We had the rich damn kids that had all brand new clothes, and here I was lucky wearing the same three shirts every day.
I couldn't afford
Yep.
Illinois after getting
I
divorced
feel you there.
in Alabama, and I had nothing.
We're not all born with a silver spoon.
No.
And see that's a big problem in the United States. Is it's like everybody, you have sports now, right? Oh, Johnny did great. He got last. No, you didn't do great, Johnny. Maybe next freaking time, maybe next time you'll do better. And it's okay to win and lose. But as a society, we have to learn to win and lose. Not just that, you took last place. Trophy, Johnny.
But they took the Bible and prayer out of schools. Now it's like a prison system.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. I remember, how
Bingo.
many of you in the chat right now remember every single morning, the first thing you did at school was say the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America, and you stood your ass up and you said the pledge, and then recess, and it was time to chase the girls and have a blast. Now it's like you look at the playground and you're like, what the hell are these kids doing? They're in their phones at 10 years old. They're freaking so unattached that, even the cartoons, the movies they watch, all the shit is just, it's way warped. It's way warped.
It is, because my 7-year-old granddaughter, she comes home. My 5-year-old granddaughter said today, and I know little girls think they have boyfriends and stuff, but my 5-year-old that's in the preschool class, she was telling me today, she said, Grammy, Paisley has a boyfriend and his name is Easton. And Paisley goes, well, that's okay, Grammy. She said, Kaylin's got a boyfriend too. His name is Pace. And she said, no, my 5-year-old granddaughter said, no, I broke up with him. And I went,
That's way too early.
Yeah, I was like, what?
See, my grandson and my grandkids, They ain't getting no phones. Like I told them, when you turn 18 and you can pay for your plan, go right ahead. But until then, you ain't getting no phone. You don't need a phone.
Yeah.
Go be a kid. Go outside.
Yeah.
Go play. Go do something. You know, I think it's
You're
crazy.
right.
And
Yes,
see,
That's
Jessica,
how I am. I'm like, huh?
you know,
5
and
years
so
old.
many, not to interrupt you, but so many people are taking their kids out of public school. You know, they're taking their kids out of public school, they're teaching them at home, and they're teaching them real down to earth stuff like how to pick up a pencil and write.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Home economics.
it's crazy.
Yep. It is. We learned to cook. We learned to sew. All that stuff in home ec. Now they don't even teach that stuff in home ec.
Yeah.
I've heard
Well,
several
they've
people
taken
talking
out-
about it.
I mean, even, you know, they've taken out art, they've taken out home ec, they've taken out shop classes, anything that was creative, that was,
Yep.
it's disappearing.
Yeah, it is.
Kids don't even know how to write,
Right.
you know, and then God forbid they're starting them at 5 years old looking in the black screen so that they can wear triple decker glasses at 10 instead of at 50.
Mhm.
You know, an
It's
old fashioned book. I mean, it doesn't matter what book it is, folks, but like when you actually pick up a paper book and you start flipping the pages, you become very imaginative and you become you really look at the characters. But when you're doing it on a computer, it's totally different. Totally
Yeah, it
different.
is. Yep, I bought my grandkids books and blankets and pajamas and stuff for Christmas this year. I'm like, I'm not going to buy all this junk that in 2 or 3 weeks they couldn't even tell me where that little Polly Pocket is. You know,
See,
I mean, I just thought
Here's a good
I got to do
point.
something different.
Look at this point that Raven brings up, that kids don't even play outdoors. Why would
No,
you play
they don't.
outdoors? You can go in the metaverse and travel off to La La Land and over there and blow somebody up and do this and do that. And there's nothing realistic about it. And you become,
Right.
and then we wonder why children have warped mentalities and disrespect.
You know, they got my granddaughter a tablet here a couple years ago, and they got her a tablet. Well, she got to where you couldn't even make her put it down without a teetotal meltdown. We took it away from her. We told her we had to send it off to get the bad stuff off of it. It's still in my top drawer.
But
We still have it.
okay, I'm sorry, Miss Firefly. I don't agree with you. It's not safe in some places to play outside. Well, then we need to go outside and be with our kids because they need to experience the great outdoors. And, you know, I lived in the city. I lived in Los Angeles. Don't think I've always been in the freaking forest. But I lived in LA. I lived in LA during the worst time of the Crips and the Bloods when they were fighting back and forth. Right on the 210 outside of San Dimas, California, somebody just looked at somebody funny and got shot through their car window. Okay, I lived there when you used to hear bullets ringing out. But did you still see kids playing? You did. Kids still play. It's that we have to bring them outside to play and away from the computer, away from the phone, away from the everyday rhetoric bullshit that they get wrapped up in online. Kids as young as 10 and 11 years old are on the internet, and because someone says something bad to them, they're taking their own lives, folks.
Your own life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad that you're that old and that's what's going through your head is to take your life.
Or doing those stupid challenges. Let's
Oh
I
my
know.
God.
I mean, you know, let's eat a Tide Pod. You know, who
Yeah.
would want to do that?
Right.
Yeah, Heather has a good point. Take the electronics away. Make them have
That's
a
what we
day.
did.
And it's important.
Uh-huh. That's what we did with Paisley is we took it. We just took
Well,
it.
see, I have a little problem with this too, Lourdes. Bullying. Okay, back in the day, kids used to pick on me, and if they pushed me to my brink, I'd pop them in the nose. That was that.
There was no going home crying.
There wasn't this, oh my gosh, my feelings are hurt. You stepped on my toe. You popped me. I'm gonna pop you back. We're gonna fight it out, and it's gonna be,
Right.
and then we're gonna squash it. And so many times in elementary and junior high, the guys that were picking on me, after we squashed it, I got a black eye from one of them, and me and him became great friends because I stood up to him. But
That's
now, because of the warp reality, they think they have to grab a knife, a gun, or whatever, a weapon. And
Look at the games they
it's,
Yep.
but look at the games. I mean, the games that they play are unbelievable. And that's,
Mhm.
and that, as adults, there's no excuse for it. If your kid has a play system, whatever system it is, and you don't know what the hell they're playing, it's your fault. Take responsibility for your kid and get them out of that. Tell them that's not allowed, and we're not going to play that bullshit.
Right.
And you can play this game, this game, this game. What kind of games do you want to play? You want to play sports games? Okay, cool. But all this
Right.
blowing them up and showing their heads, all this shit, nah, man, unhealthy.
It is.
Yep.
It is.
I remember.
I mean,
I remember.
we played outside when I was a kid. I mean, and I had people pick on me too. Okay. I mean, I had a good family, but we weren't the richest family in town,
Yeah.
And so I got picked on a little bit too, but never in my life did I think I needed to take my life as a child, because of it. And so, that's kind of, I can't believe that that's where kids' minds go now, just, at the drop of a hat,
Yeah.
and they don't know how to play creatively anymore. Like my brother and I used to play with cars and trucks in the dirt and build towns and, stuff like that. And, or we go down to the creek behind my family's restaurant and catch a bunch of tadpoles, We played outside, but
we used to go down and catch crawdads and bring them home, and
we did the same
my
thing.
stepdad had a horse trough in the garage, and we'd bring them up there, and then we'd drop them in there and watch them grow, and then all of a sudden they'd disappear. I think my dad was taking them back to the lake. Because we could walk over to the lake, and I think he was like, okay, let him have them for a little while, and then I'm taking them back over. But I'm not saying that I was an innocent kid either. I mean, we caught a garage on fire because we decided to smoke cigarettes. So we climbed in the rafters so we wouldn't get caught. And there was a big tent tarp up there, and we caught the thing on fire, and we all bailed and took off running, and the garage almost went up. We did stupid shit.
We all did.
But now it's like the kids don't even do the stupid shit. They do the dangerous shit. Shit. Go eat a laundry pod and a Tide Pod, and they have to put a warning on it to not eat Tide Pods. Come on, give me a damn break. Common sense is scary.
Yeah. It never crossed my mind to eat laundry detergent. I just didn't. We never thought, okay, let's eat laundry detergent or whatever.
Well, now the latest TikTok one that I caught my granddaughter doing, and she lost her tablet for it, was see how long you can hold your breath.
Oh.
Yeah, for a 5-year-old. And
a 5-year-old?
I went in there, and she's all gasping and stuff. And I'm looking at her, and I'm saying, what are you doing?
What?
I said, are you on TikTok?
Okay.
She said, yeah, and they showed it to me. And kids were passing out doing that stupid shit, so she lost her tablet.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, I didn't get a
I don't
computer
know.
Doing this shit.
until I moved on.
Go ahead, George.
I didn't get a computer until I was down here between Avenue D and E on 8th Street. That was the last time It's the first time I ever got myself a computer. I went out and I
Yeah.
bought one. I couldn't get the thing to work right because every time I play one game right there, I'd go for about 2, maybe 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden the sucker would freeze up on me. Then I'd have to go and start the whole damn thing all over again. And hell, the games that they got nowadays, oh God. All there's nothing but
I know.
damn shoot 'em up bang bang crap.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to see my homemade oil lamp?
Sure.
Yes.
This is a pint jar with a chimney.
Mhm.
And one of my
Wow.
chimneys, this is the thing that you can buy off Amazon that will fit a pint jar and buy extra wicks. They're just
Mhm.
lovely. I think they're great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are nice.
Neat.
So everybody can go get them this brass part that will
Mhm.
fit a pint jar. They're only like $9, and make yourself a oil lamp, because the parts that hold the oil, man, there's some beautiful ones out there, but they're like $200-$300. You could get the plain glass ones. They're still
Mhm.
$20-$30. And I'm a canner, so I got lots of pints. So
Right.
you guys some of them.
Yeah, that's handy.
Yeah. I mean, $9 for the brass
You're
part.
right.
Yeah, y'all were talking about the kids not going and getting and reading a book. That's one of my basic hobbies is reading a book. I get to go and travel places that I will never in my whole lifetime go to. Like
Yeah, you get to
down
disappear
around
into the
South
story.
America, or over to Europe, or over to Russia, or Japan, or like if I want to travel outside the universe, I could do that. These kids nowadays, no, they don't know how to do that stuff,
Mm-mm.
and they get their high school diplomas. They don't know how to go and read worth a shit. They can't do math like we know how to do it. They got to learn all the damn college algebra, all the damn college physics, and all that other stuff. That's just a waste of time. What are they going to use all that stuff at? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, back in the day, they didn't have all these laws where your kids got to read so much by the time they're this age. Well,
Yeah.
if you're a troublemaker and they just want to push you through to get you out of the school and you don't learn how to read, it's kind of like your SOL.
Yeah.
I agree.
They did that a lot.
I like the lamp you made. That's cool. That's really cool.
It is.
Well, thank you.
That's neat.
I was going to buy a couple of those brass pieces and some extra wicks and send them to you in dragonflies. And
Yeah,
she
see,
could-
I like Threaded Seeker's idea to have a lot of board games and
I have a lot.
and cards and things like that, because that's like
puzzles.
those things bring a family together, and we really have
They
got
do.
to work on our own families,
Mm-hmm.
bringing back that unit of family.
We do a game night. Like at least once a month, where most of our kids come together because some of them live far away, but we get together and do a game night. With
Yeah.
the whole family.
I think everybody's internet is tripping because it's been really a weird day, and it might be over. It's I just keep seeing all these comments on videos and all kinds of stuff like the internet. I guess maybe it's all about to go down.
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's been going down for a while.
Yeah, it has. It's crazy.
TWP, I got a question for you.
Huh?
I got a question for you.
Okay.
On my videos that I watch that aren't lives, I don't have a comment section no more. Why?
Because hold it, on other people's videos or your own?
Other people's videos.
Then they have it
I
marked
think
for
so.
children. If you have it marked for children, then you can't comment on the videos.
All right, I'll check that out.
Some people do it on purpose because they just don't want to deal with the bullshit comments. The other thing that I want to address, Beth D, and I think you brought it up in Copycat and somebody else, is there's a new thing on YouTube, and you might notice numbers behind your name or letters and numbers or whatever. It's the new thing. It's called a YouTube handle. And you can go into your YouTube studio, even if you're not a creator, and change it to what you'd like. You have to go into your settings, into your YouTube studio, and then into settings, and you can change it. Like if you want Beth D on there, you might be seeing Copycat 7497 whatever. If you want to change that, you have to go in and change it yourself. Otherwise, they just assign you one, and it would be kind of similar to your name on YouTube plus some numbers.
Was it a tracking number?
Probably.
It's actually a new feature that's going to be rolling out in 2023. So, like for instance, say Beth D is on YouTube, and I want to see if Beth D is on YouTube. I can punch in your handle, and I'll be able to find you and come in the chat and bullshit with you. So it's going to be, yeah, and just like if I'm having, say, I'm a special guest somewhere, like I was tonight. I tried to be. It didn't work out very well tonight.
I saw
But
that.
say I'm at a live, and you all were like, "Well, I thought OTWP was on a live." You could punch in my handle and find where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
cool.
it won't be rolling out for a while, but a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of people going, "Why are they doing this to me and doing that to me?" And that's what's going on. It's nothing freaky or anything like that. Yeah, it may be tracking, but shit, they track everything we do. I mean, are y'all scared?
Yeah, they're tracking us by our face. And
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Are y'all scared? Are y'all scared?
Hell no. I said, bring it on, people. Bring it on. Y'all got
George
to find me over here. That's about it.
George is scared. George is petrified.
George is laid back, smoking his stogie,
Oh,
checking it out.
I did get the new Tumblr, OTWP.
Well,
I
let's
did
see.
get the
Oh,
new
awesome.
Tumblr. Wow.
Let's
I got
see.
a whole pile of cards to open, and I'm really scared to open y'all's cards because I'm afraid that y'all are doing some bullshit. But I did open, yeah, because of Beth D bullshit with the glitter shitter.
that's what I was going to say.
But I do want to show this. It came in the mail today, and this is from Mr. George. But, hold on a minute. Hold on. Where's it at?
That's a good one for the
Perfect.
shooter.
Perfect.
That's from George.
I was thinking,
No, it
that
wasn't full of glitter. And thanks, George. Me and Dragonflies love it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I was thinking you that there. Also, the moose with the banjo playing in the background right there, and him coming like right here all the time, picking his nose right there. And then I said, "I hope it all came out great."
And it says, just thought you might enjoy a little carol of the bowls. Hope yours is a mooey Christmas, mooey Merry. Thank you, George, man. Thank you very much. I'm scared to open the girls because freaking Bethy started that bullshit, and who knows what's going to happen when
I
I
just
open
want you to have a beautiful, sparkly experience.
I want shit to be glittery. Yeah. What? Dragonfly said caroling of the balls.
Balls.
No, bulls.
I figured you might
Carol
like
of
that
the
one.
Balls.
Yeah,
Either
bull balls.
either that one or else the moose, in a Santa Claus outfit, and he's picking his nose right there. I said on the
great.
inside, I hope it all came out great. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Dreaded Seeker is scared to death. I missed her thing. She's Dreaded Seeker. Everybody give hugs to Dreaded Seeker. She's really scared.
Honey, it's
Dreaded
okay, Dreaded.
Come
Scared,
on.
baby.
Don't be scared.
I'm patting your back, Dreaded. You know we love you. Hey, George.
Hey, Dragonfly said at least the card has lights so I can see in the chitter.
I know, lights go on in there, too.
That's funny.
What'd you say?
I said shitter.
She said shitter. I said chitter. She says chitter. I say shitter. We go around. Yeah.
Now you can go and keep the Grinch away with that Christmas card right there. Oh, he doesn't see.
All right, now it's that time of the evening that George is going to do a solo performance.
No,
So,
I'm not.
ladies- Yes,
I wanted
George.
to see
I
his
am not.
Damn it, George! Knock your
No.
shit off, man.
No.
Now damn it, George. Before
Shut
the
up.
show, damn it, George. You said
No.
before the show that you were freaking
No.
doing a solo. Knock your shit off. Here go.
You're full of it. I did not.
All
You're lying again, boy. You're
Thank you.
lying again, you little twerp.
right.
I heard
She's
you.
a
You
Wildflower
did.
and Beth D will do the damn thing. All right, here we go.
No,
Ready?
we want to see George.
Well, George is gonna
No.
bop his head and light up his lighter. I mean, well, shit.
No, I wanna see
That's
George.
light it up, folks. Light it up. Light this
Oh,
baby
yeah,
up.
That's a good thing. I like that.
Go, George. Go, George.
No.
Don't set like a bump on the freaking log. Quit being a
Tough
frog.
shit, boy. Tough shit.
Quit being a damn puff puff. Let it rip, George. Do the damn thing. Get up in your chair and dance. Oh, hold on. There's already been in the music.
Oh,
Keep
love
on
the
that.
The good stuff.
Maybe there is no music. What?
Oh, there's always music.
Sing, she's Wildflower. Hey, oh, hey. Boom.
Hey, stay on there.
You know
we
he's
go.
capturing us, right?
Let's try this one.
He's capturing us.
We want light it up, light it up. We're trying technical difficulties. Come on, we can do this shit. Do the dang thing. Come on, light it up, light it up. Come on, YouTube. Come on, internet. Ah, we're having some
Light it up, light it up, light it up.
Come on, we can do this. Come on. Rough tonight, rough. Shit. Hey! Hey! Go, George. Go, Betsy.
Yeah, look, I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad. Lot of ties in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I never sold pack for the stack, never lied on the back. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, threw that ass the vibe, doing 80 to the house, then I hit it to the sky. Change haters on the tideway, talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hit stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to reach enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips,
Come on,
feel big
George.
from the bit, take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense, cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. Might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slack and myself on the map. Low with the wind, but we knowing that it's cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm at. I'm still on the grind, living but the last one they hear, eyes blurry, but I couldn't see the ass, and he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad bitches here, I'ma curve them all. 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. He done light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young niggas in the reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace, bitch.
All right. Did you get enough captures there, DWP?
That was great. That was great. At least we finally got the song. We were waiting for you to dance, Beth D, and we were like, "Where'd Beth D go?" You were making out with somebody.
That's my 22-year-old granddaughter. That
Oh, okay, okay.
Aw, she's pretty.
I thought it was your hubby.
Oh
She's
my God,
happy.
she's so beautiful.
She's happy to see you. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight again. I really enjoyed the conversation. I really enjoyed the topic. I think that we all have to take responsibility for our families. That's what it boils down to.
It
To
does.
keep these kids from going into the system, we've got to take responsibility for our own kids and for kids that don't even belong to us.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
The system is a good place to be for young children.
yeah.
That's why I have raised almost 4 of them, or will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they need you. And they need you. And you're probably wore out and like, oh, God, I thought I was done with this. But, you know, in the end,
It feels that way some days.
oh, I'm
my
sure.
God, I'm so tired all the time.
Well, and I'm sure, Bethy, I mean, you thought you were done raising kids, but without you, where would they be, hon?
I know.
You know?
Not in the system.
I live right next door to all of mine.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
it's like
Well,
It's yours home.
Outdoor in the country.
Yeah.
yeah, my older sister's raising her daughter's kid because her daughter got hooked on meth, and it was either grandma and grandpa take him or the kids go in the system.
Yeah.
And now, thank God, my niece is clean. She's going on 2 years, and she's having a relationship with her daughter, but her daughter will never move back in with her. I mean, it's to the point that they've raised her. Oh my gosh, they've raised her since she was 3, and she don't know anybody but my sister as mom.
Right.
You know, and
Mhm.
she couldn't go back in there. She couldn't go back in
No,
there.
that would be a drastic blow to that babe.
Yeah. She'd
you know?
struggle.
Yeah. But thank
Yeah.
God the mom is getting clean.
Well, I hope everybody had a good night tonight. I think that I really like the night shows. I like that y'all are coming up. I hope that more of you will get T Long tried. But I hope that more of you will come up on the panel. We can have 9 people up here. And we need to keep the conversations going. And we need to have real conversations, not just about prepping and homesteading in the
Prepping and
news,
stuff.
but real conversations, down to earth conversations.
Yeah.
But
Nobody else is. That's why we need to.
yeah.
So how did Dragonflies like that spicy beef?
She didn't eat it.
I would have
I
tried.
knew you said you made it too hot for her.
Yeah, and I didn't even put Scotch bonnet peppers in it. So, but it's hot. It's hot. Walker's Wood is hot. But I'm making one of her favorite recipes. So Beth D, I am going to be doing another cooking show, but it's actually a serious one. And then, well, maybe I'll add a little twist to it.
Well, I love when you're serious too.
Okay.
I like all these.
Yeah, we love you. We love you. It don't matter what you
No
do.
matter what you do, as long as you're cooking.
Actually, that was, I love Jamaican food. I love Mexican food. I think that we are seafood lovers. We really like seafood. One night, me and Dragonflies went in the kitchen together. This is when we lived in Bama, and we got fresh shrimp from the meat market. And we decided we both love coconut shrimp. So we spent the whole night in there together and made handmade coconut shrimp.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
out of this freaking world. It was delicious, babe. It was
Yum.
delicious. Yeah.
The only way I get coconut shrimp is if I go down to the Chinese food place down the road.
Oh, we had
That's right,
fun.
Lourdes.
We actually Dragonflies like sushi. And so we got all the stuff to make sushi. So one night we're gonna do that. And make a coconut shrimp video. T Long says. T Long, I wish you would have been able to come up. Everybody's internet. I don't know how many people in the chat, but the internet has been really freaking weird.
Yeah, mine
I
has
mean, I had
too.
to reset my phone, reset the Wi-Fi box, all kinds
Yeah,
of
it goes around and around and around and around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Spin,
Well-
spin.
you remember
Anybody
those
have
gay
any?
bars-
George, you want to
so
say
pretty.
something closing?
Isn't she
Yeah,
beautiful?
you remember those gay bars
Pretty.
Oh, hold
those you
on.
gave out?
Hold on a minute, George. Hold on a minute, George. Before we close up, let's let Beth D go first. Beth D, you want to go ahead and say something in closing and let your go ahead.
She just wants to show me off.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Don't blame her.
Thank you.
All right, you guys keep on doing DIYs. Get you some oil lamps going. Get some 100-hour candles going. Electricity is a thing, man. So get that shit going for yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Mhm.
She's a wildflower. You have anything to say in closing?
The topic we were discussing tonight and people having a second chance, I just think that we need to, if we have that inside of us, that gut feeling that we have something to offer these kids. I mean, we're sitting here talking about the things that they need to do, whether it's go outside and play or we need to do games or cards or whatever. That's all we can do. Be that light in the world and believe in people that nobody else believes in.
Exactly. Exactly. Give everybody the
I think that's a gift. I honestly think that's a gift. Your ability to sense that somebody, whether it's a child or another adult, I lost my best friend who was also my brother-in-law. That's how I met Travis, was his brother. We went to school together. He took his life when he was 25. I was pregnant with my daughter. That was the worst thing I ever lived through in my life or ever had to watch a family go through. I don't ever want anybody to feel that way. So I have that need constantly to, I kind of absorb that need in people. It's like I can pick it out of a crowd of people, that need to be believed in and that need to reach out to people. And sometimes it feels like a curse because I kind of absorb up everybody's feelings a little bit, but I really think it's a blessing. I think it's a blessing that I have that ability to see through what everybody else won't,
You're an empath, darling.
Oh, I know.
You're
That's why I said some days you feel like you're just going to lose your crap from being that way, but I don't know how to be any other way.
Yeah.
I really don't. I've always been that way. Travis always tells me I have the save the world syndrome. I said, that's all right. If I save one, I've completed my mission.
Yeah. Well, and we have to come together. I mean, I talk often about Darcy, and my half sister, and she's gone, and you know, when we lose somebody close to us, like from suicide or sex trafficking or child molestation or murder or whatever it is, then we take a different stance at that because we look at it and go, wow, this hit really close to home. And I think that that's what's going to happen when the real SHTF hits in the USA is people are going to go, shit, I should have been listening. Shit, I should have been doing this. And then, as I often say, then it's too late to prepare for the disaster.
Right.
You know, it's not that we're paranoid or freaked out. It's that we're taking an insurance policy out for our family. And instead of paying someone $60 or $70 a month to insure our car, we're insuring ourselves by doing the legwork.
Yeah.
You know,
My 7, I know you're trying to close, and I'm not saying anything else, but my little granddaughter asked me today while I was over there, and she said, Grammy, what will we do when there's no food left? She said, well, I know. Grammy, she stocks up all the time. I said, Paisley, never worry that you're going to not have something to eat. I said, Grammy, I'll make sure you do.
Yeah.
Grow them gardens.
Yep. Grow the garden.
Yeah, we just got ours tilled up for spring, but they came and turned it up and tilled it up for us to let it sit over through winter. But we just had that done. And we were talking about that after Paisley said that about the garden for this next fall. Next summer, spring and summer.
Yeah,
but yeah, my 7-year-old granddaughter is thinking about what are we going to do if there's no food.
Georgie, do you have something in closing, George? George, would you like to say something in closing?
Well, all I can say is just to these damn kids nowadays, get out of those damn tablets. Get you a book and read the damn thing. All I can say is just get out of the damn metaverse, start reading, learn how to read all over again. Even if you have to start with a first grade book. Start from there and go forward. Because that way you can go to places. You can go and discover everything.
Exactly.
You can go out there in the universe and look around there.
Yeah.
That's one of my basic hobbies is reading.
Yeah, that's so true, George. And remember as a little guy or a little girl and you would read that first sci-fi book or that first journey book. Maybe it was Little House on the Prairie. Maybe it was an alien book, whatever it was. But you were so entangled in it because you were taking this journey through the book.
Yeah,
and it's so important, folks, that we've got to reach our kids and we got to bring them back home out of the black screen, out of the meta freaking evil verse, out of the evil bullshit. And we got to bring them back to God. We got to bring them back to the family unit. We got to bring them back to meals, sitting down and actually having a decent conversation, and that they know that they can come to mom or dad or aunt or uncle and say anything. I watched something tonight. It was about a 6-minute video, and this woman was talking about her daughter and how beautiful she was and how wonderful things were. And I was thinking, oh my God, did her daughter pass away? No, the teachers indoctrinated her, and the teachers actually took all these kids on a trip. And when the kids came back, all the kids' heads were shaved. The teacher took it upon themselves to shave all the kids' heads.
Wow.
Now, listen to this part, folks. Now her daughter is 19. At 17, she ran away. She now has no breast because she did the surgery, because she got indoctrinated into this through public schools.
Oh my.
See, I don't have a problem with somebody that's gay, straight, or bisexual. That's between you and God. But I have a problem when you attack the children and that you do things with the children, against the children, against our God that created us the way we are. And this is a battle of evil versus good, folks. And it's time to stand up for the good. And it's time to get actively involved in the schools. Because imagine if your kid came home from a 2-day trip with their head shaved. then they run away. And the lady made a very good point. She's a psychologist. She said it took 14 times to tell my child to change to get it into her head. So 14 times. So if your kid is in a public school and they're saying it over and over and over again, that is what's going to occur. And it's going to get worse and worse until parents quit putting the responsibility of schools to raise their children.
Right.
I agree.
This is on Kellogg's cereal.
Hold on a minute.
This is on Kellogg's.com to sign up from that back of the cereal box
Oh,
to
God.
get free coffee.
Okay. See,
Coffee.
this is the bullshit.
What was
This is
that?
on the back of Kellogg's cereal
You scan the barcode
to sign up
yeah, you
to get your free coffee. Are you female, male, non-binary, prefer not to say, or other?
Wow.
Yeah.
What is
my
other?
God.
What is non-binary?
Wow.
This,
That's on a cereal box.
there is now over,
cereal box.
hold on, folks, there is now over 674 corporations that are backing that bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Amen, Dreaded Seeker. Amen. Amen. Everybody have a good night.
You're right, Dreaded.
George, thanks for being on the panel. Beth D, she's a wildflower.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you to the chat for being here. Folks, I'm going to play one song on our way out. You can drop off the panel or you can stay on, whichever you prefer. If we can get a song to come up, we'll see. I think we can.
I love you guys.
I love
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
Hugs. Come on, George. Come on. Damn it.
It's for
George.
everyone.
Love my chat people
It's
too.
for everyone.
And the lurkers.
I'm doing it for
Oh,
everyone.
my God. Boom. George actually gave out a prepper hug. What the hell? It's
He
gonna
did.
rain.
Right.
Hold on.
Like I
This
said,
goes out to George.
it's for everyone.
Hold on.
That's beautiful, George.
I love it. I love it, man.
Oh, DW.
I'm going to drive dragonflies crazy with this, George. Thank you.
You know the gag gifts that you were giving out, the boxes with the gag
Uh-huh.
gifts. Jeremy and George Hale, they got those two boxes like that. One right there was the liquid gold right there.
Oh,
That one like that there, and then I don't remember what was it she got, but it was a gag gift. The gift was
yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. The gag
that,
gifts.
that one right there. Yes, I saw that there, and I knew exactly where that idea they came from.
I love it,
You.
man. I love it.
Hey,
Fist bump.
George. George.
Take care, bro.
George, can we see your Tumblr?
Oh yeah, that one for Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Wait a minute.
Here we go.
When up is down and a down is up, when your half full glass looks like a half empty cup, when you're running into dead ends and everywhere you turn,
things you do.